The one thing about that is as soon as you open the cage, the bird knows it's time to go. You know, all of this was cute. Being in the cage was cute. It was nice. Thank you so much for the food that you fed me with all this time. But it's time to go. You open that cage, the bird is gone. Why does a bird know what to do? Yet you are still confused with what you should do when you have this opportunity. It's 2023. We're finally here. We've been waiting for this moment for so long. A time when we're able to move freely. Just a while ago, there was lockdowns. We couldn't go anywhere. Just a while ago, there was all this uncertainty. But what exactly have we been waiting for? What is it that we have come here to do? After all of this time of facing uncertainty, what does it mean that we're in 2023? The past 2 years have been difficult for everybody. The past 2 years have been confusing for everybody. It's been a time where everybody just feels like it's hopeless. There's nothing left. We've seen a whole bunch of things that we thought that we would never see. We've seen confusion manifest itself in a way that it probably never has, at least in recent memory. This was the past 2 years. Now is the first year that we're technically free from these things. Last year, the year before, you were in lockdown, just stuck in the home. We didn't know what to do with ourselves. We didn't know how to feel about wanting to go outside. Are we bad people for wanting to go outside, to communicate, to socialize? It was hectic. We had lockdowns. They would give you a fine, like a crazy fine, like $1,500, just because you wanted to go outside, you wanted to take out the trash. And it sounds crazy now because we're in 2023 and this seems like something that is so behind us. But this just happened. When this was happening, remember your state of mind. Remember that you were confused. Remember that you didn't know what was right and what was wrong. Remember that all you seen in the media was, this is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. If you don't do this, you're this type of person. If you do this, you're this type of person. They were telling people that they couldn't see their dying grandmothers. They were saying that you couldn't hug anybody. Do you remember the lines at the stores? We had lines going out like a club. Like you'd go outside and you'd see a line that's 2 hours long because you wanted to go get some bread. This just happened. When you were there, you were locked in. Not just physically, but you were locked in mentally because the world stopped. Everything seemed like it was not it anymore. All the dreams that you had, even they were traveling bans. You weren't allowed to travel. All the expectations that you had of that year or those 2 years, it was like down the drain. All you seen was a finite limit to what you can become and what you can be. Everything seemed outrageous. All of the dreams that you ever had, it just seemed like it doesn't really exist. Am I really even alive, living? It just seemed that we had to survive. It sucked, quite frankly. But now we're in 2023. What does 2023 mean? And for a lot of you around the world, it's the first time that you're allowed to be again. For many of you, it's the first time that you're allowed to travel again. 2023 is the first time after 2 years of not being able to, that you could just go party. You could just go see people. Everything that you were conditioned to do and conditioned to believe, all of the stops that you had, they're no longer here. It's 2023. What are you going to do with your life? What are you going to do with your life in 2023? When you were locked down, you were probably like, oh, well, this can't happen because, they're telling me I can't do this, or that can't happen because they're telling me that I can't do this. You were probably thinking that your dreams were impossible and it wasn't even your fault. So you had the opportunity to take absolutely no accountability with where your life went for the past 2 years. You had the opportunity and the privilege to say, oh, it's because of this that I can't do this, or it's because of the government that I'm not succeeding in the way that I should succeed. Oh, it's because of these laws why I didn't achieve the goal that I set out for myself to achieve. It is because I couldn't go to the gym. It's because I couldn't go to the library why I didn't achieve my goals. Okay, you had an excuse. The excuse was, 2 years strong. Now what are you gonna do? 2023. What does it mean to you? What is 2023? Is 2023 a year where you're going to stay stagnant? Is 2023 a year where you're going to say, oh, well, for the past 2 years I was stuck, so I can't, I need to readapt and I need none of that. You're free now. Think of this like a bird in a cage. The master, or let's say it's your pet bird, you go, you feed your bird here and there, give it water, take care of the bird's flying around the cage and you never let it out. And the one thing about that is as soon as you open the cage, the bird knows it's time to go. All of this was cute. Being in the cage was cute. It was nice. Thank you so much for the food that you fed me with all this time. But it's time to go. You open that cage, the bird is gone. Why does a bird know what to do? Yet you are still confused with what you should do when you have this opportunity. It's 2023. It's time to be yourself. It's time to execute those plans. It's time to take accountability for what happened in your life for the past few years. It's time to take accountability for today. And that's the only way you're going to succeed tomorrow.